Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is January 10, 2022, and today is Monday morning. So welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. Now, looking at the highlights of the day, Jpmorgan, one of the biggest banks and financial institutions in the United States, gaining some major momentum on the upside. There's no major economic event scheduled for today. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the British pound continues to show strength on the upside. The Dow Jones and the NASDAQ give up gains, but they're on an interesting path. Okay, we're going to take a look at each one individually. Now look at commodities, gold pretty much unchanged, and oil tapering off from $80 a barrel. Now looking at the stocks, it's the tech stocks that broke the market and showing some weakness. And lastly, Bitcoin still flirting with that 41K support level. We're going to take a look at it in just a second. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. I'm going to skip the Euro USD. Okay, we're in such a tight move there. I don't want to look at it. We're looking at a daily of the Gbp Usd. It has had a really nice run up until now. Okay, the candles are getting weaker, okay, in terms of their ability to show up with higher highs, and this really may be the top of the move right here. Okay, I'm not going to say it's going to happen today, but it does look like it's going to retrace at some point. So keep an eye on this. Okay, if it doesn't break this support, then we could see a correctional move on the downside. Now looking at the Aussie USD, didn't get as strong. Okay, on a 4-hour chart, we're right there on the 30-day moving average, which is really important. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now jumping into commodities, looking at gold, unchanged, $17.99 from last week. Really not doing much after we hit that $18.28. We did break above that previously last week to $18.70. There was a nice little fake out that we had, but that was back in November. So we're still, for all intents and purposes, trading in a range. Okay, nothing really new about it. We're still in the upper side of the range, but still in the range. Now looking at oil, it's really diverging here at $79, where we had that sell-off from 80. Okay, 80.35 was the high, and then we had 78, and somewhere in the middle of that right now. And you can see the moving averages are really flirting with it on a 1-hour chart. You know, on a 4-hour chart, you see we're closer to the 8-day. So this is still has upwards momentum, okay, and still relatively strong for where it's been. Okay, so it could still rally, just a matter of where it's going to go next. Okay, now looking at the big boards, the Dow Jones, okay, trading right now at 36,158, a nice little pivot here down to 36,000. We did consolidate here after hitting a new high of 36,700-ish level. But what's strong about these markets? So let's take a look specifically. It's the bank stocks. Okay, if we look at Jpmorgan, unbelievable. Look at it. It's almost on its all-time highs of 168. It's trading at 167 right now. And to think I owned this at $6 a share in 2008, okay? And now it's at $167. So amazing comeback for Jpmorgan. If you look at that, that's a weekly. If we look at a monthly, back in right here, 2009, this was the spot that I actually bought it right here, and where it is today. Okay, so that's an investment kind of move. We're talking about over 12-year period. So that's not what we do here. But if you look, it's showing strength. Okay, it's showing strength with some continued buying here at 167. Very erratic kind of stock, but it's showing strength. When the bank stocks are showing strength, that means that there's still strength in the markets, even though when we look at the tech stocks, they actually sold off. So looking at the tech stocks, first looking at the NASDAQ, we're looking at a daily. And we broke, for all intents and purposes, that support level of 15,672. Now it's relatively a resilient index, okay? So, but we need to see the stocks coming through here. We need to see the big name stocks coming through here, okay? Even though we had NVIDIA that traded really high last week. Looking at Apple, we did sell off. Looking at Facebook, we sold off a little bit there. Microsoft sold off, broke that support at 316, but this could have been a fake out kind of move on the downside. And that's why I don't want to add too much pressure on it to say, oh, we sold off so sharply, we're going to continue selling off. Okay, there could still be a comeback here because we're in the range of support here, okay, for all intents and purposes. So we may get that push going into the middle of January, into the end of January as well. Now lastly, looking at Bitcoin, this one is really a sore thumb for everybody. Everybody's asking me what's going on with Bitcoin. It's the way the market acts when the market acts. Okay, you could subscribe a million answers. Okay, a million questions. People booking their profits, the beginning of the year, they want to pay off. They've been long-term investors. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Okay, it might not be worth 100,000 or it could be worth 20,000. I don't know, and that's part of the dilemma of trading such a asset like this, is because you really don't know what the true value of it, because it's not central bank that's actually running it. Okay. However, I do know that it's here to stay. I do know that transactions in it are increasing. I do know, and I do understand that down the line, it's going to be something that's going to be much more prevalent. Okay. Daily day basis, who's using Bitcoin? Well, the underworld is using Bitcoin. So it's going to stick around. Okay. So, on daily transactions, this is still something that is going to be something that is going to stay. For technical purposes, let's take a look. We're at a weekly chart where I have this Fibonacci retracement, 41,000. 41K is an important support level. It does look like a head and shoulder formation, so we may get that push up here. Okay, so keep that in mind and anticipate it, okay? Because if it does, it could take us to new heights. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.